Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I read an interesting article on yahoo.com written by Belaz Balint titled, "The Truth About Mileage. How many miles is too many when buying used?" I'll include a link to this article below. I encourage you to check it out. According to the author, if you're shopping for a used car, one of the first questions that comes up is how many miles is too many? It's a fair concern, and after all, mileage can reveal a great deal about a vehicle's wear and tear. As an average customer with no extensive knowledge about used cars, mileage, years, and price are the primary metrics when selecting a used car. But here's the thing, mileage alone doesn't tell the whole story. A well-maintained car with 120,000 miles can easily outlast a neglected one with 60,000 miles. Well, I agree with that. There are some folks who buy a new car and they take it for service during the warranty period when you get free oil changes. And then after that, they stop going. As crazy as that might sound. Well, imagine the damage that could happen to the engine internally when you have a bunch of old, sludgy oil sloshing around. Imagine the metal parts that may wear out prematurely. Imagine what could happen to the seals in the engine. Now, what if we have a car with 120,000 miles or more compared to that 60,000 mile vehicle that wasn't well maintained? Well, we could have an owner who took that vehicle with 120,000 miles or more into the shop for every service interval. And whenever the shop recommended something, they paid for it to get it completed. That car might be completely up to date on maintenance. The brake pads are great, the tires are good, belts and hoses have been replaced, spark plugs have been replaced, maybe they have already flushed several fluids in the vehicle, transmission fluid, power steering fluid, brake fluid, antifreeze. That car could be ready to go without any expensive service for many years to come. That well-maintained vehicle with 120,000 miles might be able to go for several 100,000 miles more compared to the vehicle with only 60,000 miles that was abused. But there's really more to consider than just the service history of a vehicle. You need to also consider the accident history of the vehicle, which is often revealed on an auto check or a Carfax report. If you have a vehicle that was involved in an accident, even if it was minor, it's highly likely that the factory paint was damaged. So why is this a problem? Well, that factory paint seals those metal panels. When that has been damaged, it could allow moisture to get into that metal. Depending on the shop that repaired the damage, they may have let that vehicle sit outside for a week or two before they were able to start working on it. And that metal got exposed to the elements. And once they started working on it, who knows what kind of primer they used? Who knows what type of body filler they used? And how well they painted those panels that were damaged. You could end up with a car that rusts out prematurely because of a poor repair that had been done previously. My opinion, it's better to purchase a car with no accident history, even if the accident or accidents were minor. Let's take this one step further. You could have a vehicle with 60,000 miles that was never engineered or manufactured well. And that car may not last much more than 100,000 miles. I don't want to throw any automakers under the bus, but there are some automakers out there that manufacture some junk vehicles. And a lot of those vehicles will fail after 100,000 miles. Some of them have timing chains that stretch, and what happens is the pistons can hit the valves, your engine's gone. You have automakers out there with transmissions that were not engineered well, and they fail prematurely. And with these modern vehicles, it's incredibly expensive to get something like a transmission replaced, especially if it is a front-wheel drive vehicle and that transmission is shoehorned in the engine bay. Now, there are some auto manufacturers out there that still manufacture some good quality models, and I stress some. Even auto manufacturers that are well known for quality have struggled in recent years with some of their models. Some of these high-tech vehicles have had expensive problems with these high-tech systems. Some vehicles out there with turbocharged engines have also experienced expensive problems. Some vehicles with CVT transmissions have experienced failure at relatively low mileage. If you are thinking about buying a pre-owned vehicle, you can't just go off of the miles that the car has. You need to look at the accident history. You need to also conduct some research online about the specific make and model that you are interested in. And I would not rely on some of these companies that provide reports about different automobile models, because some of those reports may not be accurate. You may want to instead look on forums such as Reddit, or if you're interested in a certain brand, look on a forum affiliated with that brand. For example, if you wanted to buy a pre-owned Toyota, you could look on Toyota Nation and you could read about what other people think about a certain make and model and year. And you could read about some of the expensive problems that other people may have had with a certain year, make, and model. And you may decide to avoid that year, make, and model after reading about some of the experiences that other people have had. Personally, I like to look at a combination of different online forums. You could look on Reddit, and you could look on something like Toyota Nation if you were interested in a Toyota. If you're interested in a Lexus, there is a forum out there that pertains specifically to Lexus. Some people say don't purchase the first model year for a vehicle because the manufacturer hasn't worked all the bugs out yet. You want to wait for the second or third year so that they can fix any early production issues with that model line. And there may be some truth to that. A lot of these types of issues are revealed if you conduct research online and find out what other people have experienced. And a lot of those online forums are populated by automotive service technicians, and sometimes they chime in. For example, I was reading about the newer Toyota Camrys with the panoramic roof, and there were a couple different automotive service technicians that talked about how much it cost for people at the dealership to get those replaced. One person said it was over $10,000, and it wasn't something that could be serviced. you had to replace the entire panoramic glass roof. Imagine doing that after the warranty period expired. That would really make your heart sink if you had to spend over $10,000 to replace a panoramic roof on a reliable car like a Camry. But there have been people who have had to do it. Now, I did read that the replacement cost has come down some since they first introduced those panoramic roofs on those cars. Let's hope that's true. I'm curious what you folks think about all of this. Would you rather buy an expertly maintained high mileage vehicle with no accident history from a reputable manufacturer as opposed to a vehicle with only 60,000 miles from a manufacturer that's known to have quality issues and a vehicle with only 60,000 miles that has an accident history? Share your thoughts about all of this in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.